Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Usually I'm standing up, of course, but I'm making this video later in the day. But I said I might come in here and record the video before I go to sleep. So I came in here and decided to make this video right here tonight about the college football teams entering 2024. I seen a list that I think it was on some sports channel that made it. I don't think it was ESPN that made up a list of the top 25 teams coming in. I agree with some of the teams they have in the list, like being like certain spots, but some of them I kind of rearranged, so I made my own list as well. So yeah, we're gonna dive into that right here. As you guys know, a lot of the news for sports hasn't been super hot. Because like I mentioned before, many times before, football is the most popular sport in the world, I think. And I feel like when the football season is here, there's always traction. You get your best traction and you get the most excitement and stuff. Don't get me wrong, basketball is cool. I love watching the NBA, the WNBA. I love watching college basketball sometimes too as well. Right now you got the summer league going on, and the NBA got a few games going on before they go on Olympic break as well. But the Olympics, I think a game come on tonight for Olympics. I might miss that one, of course, but I'll probably catch the highlights tomorrow. But I love watching basketball. And I love professional wrestling as well. But football, my favorite sport. Football, my favorite sport to watch like that. Football, I'll say football, then wrestling. It's kind of like sports and entertainment. Then wrestling, then of course basketball. And I can put probably MMA up there as well, like that. But football, my favorite sport to watch. So we get I think preseason starts. I think it's August something. I think August the second, third, something like that. I know the first preseason game is gonna be in August. I think August 1st, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got some college football stuff coming, like late August as well, and other things are happening. And hey, I'll take preseason games. That'd be pretty cool to watch and stuff. I'm just waiting ready for football to be back. But starting off this list first, of course. We're looking at some of the players. Some of the teams on here on this list. Number one, I have Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, Georgia's an amazing team. They've been dominating. They had a big win streak. I think it was a 29-game win streak they had going on for them. Great defense, amazing defense, just amazing system over the past few years. They've been they kind of been in the new Alabama a little bit. They've been producing a lot of different players, from the draft. They've been NFL player levels now, NFL level players now. They've been producing just amazing talent, So I got to put Georgia number one. Georgia is probably one of the most dominant programs that we have today. Ohio State Buckeyes, I have a number two on my list right here. Ohio State Buckeyes is a good program. They have amazing receiving corps as well. We see some top quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud coming from there as well. Justin Fields as well, like that. I know he still has his struggles in the league, but he still has some talent to him. But they have some great receivers coming from there. It's a lot of great receivers. Especially recently, Marvin Harrison Jr. coming, and of course you had, as you guys know, Chris Olave and many other more that came from them too as well. They produced some good amount of guys too as well, like that for them. They also secured, like they mentioned here, they secured the top class, safeties, Alabama All-American safety Caleb Down, who I was surprised in the leave, but when Coach Saban left, a lot of his players just decided to leave too as well. Because Coach Saban, some players came there for Coach Saban because Coach Saban can get them to the NFL. Coach Saban always said that. He said, "Hey, if you want to get to the NFL, you want to maximize your career, come play for me. I can get you to the NFL." And a lot of the players was hoping to play for Coach Saban, but Coach Saban retired now, so a lot of those players kind of transferred out. And number three, I have Texas Longhorns. Of course, they did a good job last year. Remember that Red River game was amazing against Oklahoma. Like that, but they did a good job last year. They lost that game, of course, but it was still a very good game to watch like that. Every year when you see those big time battles, but the Longhorns got a lot of talent, and they still have their quarterback, of course. Quinn Ewers. I would say his name wrong. I think it is Ewers. Yeah, Quinn Ewers. A good player. Last year Texas fell a little short like that. I think to Washington in that the second game before they got to the next round. But I think this year they should have a chance to push for a national championship game. They are a top 3 team. Number 4, Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks, they're doing a good job. They added the receiver too as well. What's his name? What's the receiver name? What's that receiver name? I gotta find his name. I just had it too. He played at I think it was Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken. Played Texas A&M, and then now he's on the Ducks. I forgot his name. I gotta search that up now. Hold on, let me search this up. Yeah, but he was a good player. Like that, I remember they got him in the transfer portal. Let's see, Oregon new receiver. He was a good. What's his name? Not Tez Johnson. Evan Stewart. That's his name. Evan Stewart. Yes, Evan Stewart was the guy. Evan Stewart's a good player. For Oregon to get a guy like that caliber, who's going to be probably the #1 pick in the draft. Not #1 pick, I mean a first round pick, not #1 pick. First round pick in the draft. It was very cool to see. So Oregon got him added to the team, and their program been very good too for quite some time. And building things up. It's gonna be nice to see. Ole Miss, I had him at number 5 on the list right here. Ole Miss at number. No, I had Ole Miss at number. I had Alabama number 5. Yeah, I moved that around. I had Alabama number 5. Even though Coach Saban is gone, they still have a great program there. They still have a great system there. Jalen Monroe, as you guys know, last year I was rooting for Jalen Monroe a lot. He's a good player, and he got to work on his accuracy a little bit, but his play style, his ability to be a dual threat quarterback, he had a strong arm as well. He's very clutch. He can make some big time plays. So I think Jalen Monroe is a nice player to have in your roster like that. And I think even with Coach Saban being gone, of course they lost some guys. They lost, I mentioned, Downs, and they lost many other people too as well because of the transfer that happened after Coach Saban retired. But they still have a good enough team to be a top 10 team, and that's why I got them at number 5 here, Alabama. Then number 6 I have Ole Miss. Ole Miss got a nice roster, a nice group of guys on this list. For their team like that, they won 11. They won like 10 games last year, 10, 11 games last year, and keep building upon that a little bit too as well. I know they probably wish they had that game back against Alabama, that big time game winner that they caught in the end zone. But I think Ole Miss is a top team entering this season as well. And number 7 on my list, I had Michigan. Now, Michigan, I know some people, I think on the original list, they had them at like 9 or 10. I don't care, they lost Coach Harbaugh, and their quarterback situation is still shaky, but I'm looking at like, hey, they still have that defense over there. They still have that rushing attack ability as well. And they still have a nice squad, even though the quarterback position right now is a little questionable. Don't know exactly who's going to be the guy and what's going to happen in that position, but they still have enough pieces defensively. And then even last year, even when they had J.J. McCarthy, he was pretty good, but they ran the ball mostly. All they need is a guy who can put the ball in the money when they need him to put the ball in the money, when they do the play action passes. But he's going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play good defense. They're going to keep the game tight and stuff like that through the trenches. And win through the trenches. They do that for the past few years like that. And they won a national championship last year. As you know, Coach Harbaugh is now a Charger, so they won't be having him anymore. But they still have enough guys on the team to get it done. At number 8, I have Missouri. Missouri, solid team, a lot of production, from last season and stuff to build upon. They added some guys too as well. They added some guys too as well. They added 2 4 and 5 stars on this roster. Wideout Luther Burden and freshman Williams Navari. Returning as a starter quarterback is Brady Cook as well too. So they have some things to build up on. Like in college, of course in NFL too a little bit. Sometimes like when a new coach come in, it takes you a few years to like build upon. In college, a program, it takes me years, but sometimes you got to implement your culture the first year, and then you got to start adding on pieces. Some players might start seeing the things you have over there, and might jump over there and go to that team, and you start adding a little bit more pieces, and you be like, okay, there we go. Now we get into the spot where we are where we're supposed to be. Moving on next. At number 9, I had Notre Dame. Notre Dame at number 9. Pretty good team as well. They're fighting Irish. They actually been, Notre Dame has been pretty. They've been pretty like settled. Like they haven't they kind of like been like a team that just like they make the playoffs and they have opportunity. They try to get in the playoffs sometimes, but they always have a winning record and stuff. They just can't. They gotta find a way to get to that next level threshold where they're competing for a national championship. And I think I don't know what year it starts. I think it's maybe next season. I don't know if it's this season coming up. I think it's maybe the next season after. I gotta see exactly when it starts. But when they expand the college football playoffs from 4 teams to 8 teams, that's gonna be very good to see. And you maybe see some underdog teams, maybe some teams with the 8 seed, maybe check out a top dog seed, and just give a better experience. I used to hate the form. I hate the format that they gotta vote you into the playoffs like that. They choose like that because that's how Florida State got screwed over last year. But I had Notre Dame at number 9, and number 10 I had LSU, of course, and then number 11 Penn State, and number 12 I'm gonna skip down to number 12 because there's a lot on this list. I'm gonna keep on everybody. But number 12 had Florida State. They got screwed over last year. They should have been in the college football playoffs. I know they're going by the strength of wins. Alabama had more losses than Florida State. Florida State had no losses. Usually when you have an undefeated season, you'll be like, okay, and the teams you beat too as well. You be like, I'm putting myself in there. They were basing it off of them not having, of course, their starting quarterback. The starting quarterback was injured, and they were playing like a second string or third string quarterbacks. It's kind of based off of that. They based it off kind of like viewership a little bit. They're like, okay, they got their starting guy here, so when people want to tune in to watch this, when they play against this team, but that shouldn't matter. Viewership shouldn't matter. Like it's like an underdog team making the NBA Finals or making a Super Bowl. And you're like, well, we gotta void you out and put another team in there because you're not the had the biggest stars, had the biggest names to be in there. Like, no, they made it always there. They won these amount of games, put them in there. So I'm glad that they're gonna start expanding the college football playoff scene because they're gonna open up a lot more and make it better for teams to compete. We're about people getting voted in only 4 spots because the 4 spots never made sense to me anyway. So I got Florida State at 12. I think Florida State, the quarterback situation's a little, still of concern a little bit, but I think they'll probably find themselves up there again, competing as well. But I got them right here at 12, like sitting right there freshly at 12. At number 13, I got Utah. At 13 I got Oklahoma, the Sooners. And 14 I got Utah. At 15 I got Clemson. 16 I have Tennessee. 17 I have Miami Hurricanes. Did a pretty good job last year too as well. The Miami Hurricane have produced throughout the history of their college franchise, have produced some superstar talents. I remember that one year they had all the guys in that group. Like, they had everybody. I felt they had like some of the best, like speedsters, some of the best guys and on that team. I swear Miami Hurricanes in Florida have produced a lot of great star talent in the NFL. Yeah, but Miami, they should be up there in the top 15. They have pretty solid, off season and stuff. Add some different guys here and there. They're gonna be up there in top 15-ish. They're gonna be around the threshold a little bit. I have them at 17 right here, but I think they can fight themselves and find themselves up there in top 15 and maybe make a push for something. At 18, I had Kansas State. At 19, I had Oklahoma State, the Cowboys. At 20, I had NC State. At 21, I had Kansas. 22, I had Arizona. 23, I had Texas A&M. I know on the original list, ESPN had Texas A&M off the list, but I thought Texas A&M is still good enough to beat the top 25 team. And then at 24, I had USC, and then 25, I had Louisville Cardinals. So this is my list right here, the top 25 25 college football teams entering 2024. As you guys know, the list can be ever changing, and you guys probably have some probably switch some stuff around too in the comment section down below. I'm making this video late in the night, so if I make some mistakes or made some screw ups or some of the things the stats I said, just correct me in the comment section. But this is my list. My list is pretty solid. Pretty solid list right there, especially my top 10. Being Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon Ducks, Alabama, Ole Miss, Michigan, Missouri, Notre Dame, and LSU. I don't know if you guys also seen the college football stuff that came out about the game. The game will be very cool. I'm gonna be playing the game. I'm gonna probably get the game and probably play that. Get a mount. I really played the game a lot. When I was younger, even though I'm still 22 years old, I'm still 22. But when I was even younger than 22, I just played the game a lot. Like in high school and stuff. But now, not really, not as much. I might play it maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. I know it had dust on it and stuff. But I don't really play it as much like I used to. Probably some of the games are not the same as they used to be. I'm waiting for Sparking Zero to come out. It's gonna be a very good game. I'll be playing that a good amount. And in college football, I'll be playing that a good amount too as well. But I don't really play the game as much as I used to because the games are not the same. They have the same impact like the PS2 used to be for us, the 360 and stuff. GameCube as well, like that Game Boy. Even though Game Boy was a little before my time, but we had all the consoles. I played a lot of consoles. I played from the 64. GameCube, Game Boy Advance, of course the Wii's, the Xbox One. Remember that Xbox had that True Crime game on there? You kind of be like the I think it was True Crime. Yeah, you'd be like the cop, FBI agent and stuff on there. Very cool stuff. And of course Halo be on there and all the great games they had and stuff. My favorite game, as you guys probably, I don't know if you guys know actually, is Resident Evil 4. I have the one on PS2. I played it on GameCube before, and of course they made a remake of it too in the future. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing series, amazing game itself like that. But I don't know how I got on the topic of this video games, but I thought college football players are getting back into playing video games fully because I swear the gaming world has been like the same thing over and over, especially Madden. And it forces you to buy sometimes. Usually I wait till Black Friday to buy it where it's half off. So instead of paying $69, you pay like $30-something like that to get it like that because it's still a football game you want to play. But now with college football coming out, I think I'll be playing that. I think that game right there looks very good. They showed the gameplay of it. They made it more realistic. They say like fatigue. They say like your player get hit a certain way. They start seeing wear and tear on their body. So they might run slower. They might throw the ball a little weaker on this side and stuff. More realistic like that when you're building your team, your program and stuff. They had the top 100 players ranked as well too. A lot of people had a lot of anger towards Shedeur being the top quarterback, but I'm like, he is the top quarterback. I don't think he'll be the number one. I don't know if he'll be the number one pick or not in the draft. I think it might be a Actually, he could. It depends on what the needs of the person who's picking number one in the draft. I don't know exactly who would be number one in the draft. I'm trying to think of the teams that's in that's in the NFL. Who will be picking number one? I know the Patriots come to mind because of the new rebuild they got, but I think they might do a solid job. Broncos, maybe. I think Broncos might be picking number one because I know they have new quarterback in Bo Nix and other things that can happen, but they have no receivers. And receivers defense get a little different now too as well. They could be picking number one, but you never know what could happen. Shador already plays for Colorado, and then he goes to play for the Broncos. That wouldn't be too far off. So I think you don't know who picked number one, but it depends on who picked number one, like what their need is. Because some teams pick number one, they might not need a quarterback. They might just say, oh, we just need some O-linemen or some receivers or something like that. We can get one of these guys. I know Mike Ibuka, the one from Ohio State, he's going to be very good receiver. I hope the Steelers can find a way to get him. I know the Steelers will probably be picking, trying to find a receiver this next season. This season we got Russell Wilson. We're going to see if Russell Wilson does good. I think he'll be a solid receiver for us, but I think the Steelers probably drafting a receiver next year too to kind of build that young receiver core up fully. But yeah. College football, they ranked a lot of different people. They had Travis Hunter ranked as the top receiver. Now, I feel like he's better, in my opinion, I feel like he's better as a cornerback than he is receiver. I know a lot of people say receiver, but I feel like he's better as a cornerback than he's receiver. His tendencies they go out there and play with, he can play man-to-man coverage. He's physical, has the length, has the speed to keep up with guys, has the length to go up there and contest a lot of the high pointing ball in the air and all type of things too as well. And has great hands too to make big time plays on the ball as well because he played both sides of the ball, literally. I think he's doing it right now. But I think he's better as a cornerback than he is a receiver. But this is my top 25. I know I got off track talking about video games and talk about the other video games too as well. But it's gonna be a good game, though. I think college football playoffs and college football 25. It's not called NCAA, it's called college football 25. It's gonna be a nice game. But it's my top 25 teams that enter in 2024 for college football. The rankings they're gonna be doing. We'll see what happens. We'll see if my rankings kind of match their rankings when they do it. But that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content. As you guys know, like I mentioned before, beginning of the video, the news been a little dry, a little bit, but in a few coming weeks, I have some videos waiting. Some big time Steeler videos waiting. Some Steeler videos, not big time, but some good videos waiting. But I'm waiting closer to training camp because training camp gonna be when we get back into the groove. You start talking about things, and then you know that preseason games start kicking in, and be able to do live watch parties on the preseason games and reviews and stuff, and get back to that football feeling. So yeah, so I'll probably have some. As you see this video, probably have some more stuff coming maybe the next day. Maybe some basketball stuff for the Olympics and stuff, the NBA as well, and NBA free agency. If anything crazy goes on or happens, if I have some stuff like that coming, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, peace out.